This is All India Radio, Power of Listening. Under this series, tonight we take you on a journey to the world of yet another magnificent facet of the traditional Indian knowledge systems. Annat Bhavanti Bhutani. In today's episode, we shall be focusing on the importance of food as discussed in Upanishads. The experts are Dr. Bhagyalata Pataskar, an educationist and Indologist and former director of Vedic Samshodhan Mandal, Pune, and Veena Raj, fellow at Bhandarkar Oriental Research Institute, Pune, and researcher at Deccan College, Pune. Stay tuned.
ॐ सहनाववतु सहनौ भुनक्तु सह वीर्यं करवावहै तेजस्विनावधीतमस्तु मा विद्विषावहै ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्तिः. Namaskar. Welcome to the second episode of the series on Upanishads on the Power of Listening program. This mantra, Sahana Vavatu, is a solemn prayer jointly made by the Guru and the Shishya, that is, the teacher and the disciple, invoking the Supreme Power to protect both of them and to bless them with the lustre of knowledge. Me, Veena Raj from the Deccan College, Pune, is in conversation with Dr. Bhagyalata Pataskar, former director of the Vedic Samshodhan Mandal, Pune, who is a renowned Vedic scholar and our beloved teacher. In the previous episode, we touched upon the importance of Upanishads and various topics that are dealt in the Upanishads. Almost all the Upanishads tells us the importance of the discussion on creation, and the importance of knowledge is another thing which all the Upanishads underline. There's the eternal nature of the Atman or the soul, where we are told that nothing sticks to it. Then we saw the importance of the control of the senses. Apart from these philosophical discussions, the Upanishad deals with some very important topics like food, that is Anna, the life force Prana, and Prakriti, nature. From our childhood, we are taught that Anna is Brahma, so it should not be wasted. What is Anna and what is its importance? The Taittiriya Upanishad tells us, Annatvai prajaha prajayanti. All beings are born out of Anna. But where does this Anna come from? The same Upanishad tells us, from the Atman, Akasha emerged, and from the Akasha, Vayu, from Vayu, Agni, from Agni, Apaha, or the waters, and from Apa, Prithvi, and Prithivya Oshadayaha, Oshadibhyo, Annam, Annat Purushaha. This is a chain, this is a cycle which is given to us. When Annat Purushaha, that means all the beings come out of Anna, sure, Anna is something very important. Today, let's hear from ma'am. What is the importance of Anna in Upanishads?
Yes, the question is frequently asked. What is the importance of Anna in this spiritual text? Where is the scope for Anna? Yes, there is. We find, surprisingly, two different dimensions of Anna. One is mundane, laukik, and the other one is spiritual.
Yes, ma'am.
What is this laukik or mundane dimension? Just now Veena Tai has told, Annad vai Purushaha. Gita also says, Annad bhavanti bhutani, Annam vai Brahma, etc. So Anna is very much important. It is something nourishing, correct?
Yeah, and every day we have to have Anna. There is no day where Anna is not dealt in our life.
And according to Upanishad, the simple definition of Anna is that which is consumed. That's all.
Yeah.
So everything becomes Anna. Exactly. In the Brihadaranyaka Upanishad, we find Saptannani medhaya tapasa ajanayat prajapati. Prajapati created 7 types of food. And important one is Medhaya and Tapasa. Food should be produced with intellect and tapas, efforts. And efforts should have sanctity, serenity. That is tapas. Anyhow, something is cooked. That is not intended here. So, Medhaya and Tapasa, the food is produced, and these are 7 types of foods. And one will get surprised to know that what are these 7 types of foods. One is Mishra type of food. Mishra means, okay, dictionary will give us the meaning mixed, but it is not mixed. Mishra is that which is meant for many, all. So even in the family something is cooked, everybody will eat that. So that food is Mishra food. And the Shruti further says that if one eats that Mishra food alone, he will be sinful. Just like Gita says that one who eats
And who cooks for oneself.
yes,
Yeah.
then he is thief. So that is Mishra type of anna, one type of anna. For Pashu he created milk because they grow up on the milk. For gods 2 types of annas are created. And then for self, Atmane, 3 are the anna for Atman. Now the matter becomes very subtle. Vani, Man and Prana. Speech, mind and vital force. These are the annas, food of self. The implication is we take effort to make the food, to protect it, and it nourishes us. We take effort to keep it pure. So one should take efforts to keep one's speech, one's mind, and one's vital force pure, enthusiastic, healthy, and this will nourish one's self. This is from Brihadaranyaka Upanishad. And another one is, Veena-ji, do you know that story of Shvetaketu? It is from Chandogya Upanishad.
Yeah, ma'am.
What is that story?
Which one, ma'am? The Shvetaketu is being given Brahma Jnana
Yes.
by his father.
Yes, yes.
Tattvamasi.
Before that,
Before that.
his
Brahman,
father
sir.
asked him,
Yeah.
do you remember how much have you studied?
Yeah.
Then he tells this much I have studied. Then father starts telling him importance of food. Then father tells him,
Yeah.
now for 15 days you should not
Eat, yeah.
Then what happens further?
Yeah, for all his faculties will go on diminishing. He's not able to study the Veda.
Yes.
So later he realizes how important is Anna
Yes.
and how close relation is Anna and Sat.
Yes.
Brahman itself becomes Anna.
And he eats and then comes back, and then immediately
All the faculties
yes,
come back to him.
they come back and he starts reciting Vedas.
Vedas.
Then one more story is there, Veena-ji. Do you remember that story when in the drought, that seer, he had nothing to eat?
Yeah, Ushasti Chakrayana.
Ushasti
Yeah, in the
Chakrayana.
Chandogya we have the story.
Yes.
And it's a very interesting story that
Yes.
he was tormented by famine.
Yes.
And he, with his young wife, goes to this Kurudesha where nothing was available to eat and he had to take leftover. Kulmasha. Kuleshu Sidandi Nirukta tells us. It is
Yes.
the most despicable food of all the pulses. Still, he takes it with all devotion because he has to sustain his life. So he takes it, the leftover food, from a person who had nothing but kulmasha, that udid dal, to offer to Chakrayana. Yeah, ma'am. And then he says that I don't need your leftover water. There, ma'am, the purity of food is emphasized, even though he's taking leftover. Yeah, ma'am. If food is leftover, but he says water is in plenty. I will not take the leftover water from you. Let me have water from all the water sources here. That's also very
The
interesting.
implication is the sole purpose of food is to sustain.
Yes.
And to sustain for what? To do one's duty.
Duty.
So once one sustains, then onwards he should not long for food.
Yeah.
That is only dehadharana.
Yeah,
The
greed.
word,
Greed
yes,
should not be
yes,
there.
there should not be greed.
Yeah.
Correct, correct. There is one more reference. It is in Chandogya Upanishad.
Yes, ma'am.
A very interesting reference. The Upanishad says, Sadeva idam agrasit.
Yeah.
At the beginning, it is. In fact, there was is. If word to word translation is required,
Yeah.
it is.
Yeah.
Sat,
Being.
being, Sat. Huh. And then that Sat thought that I want to be multiplied
Yeah.
because it was one and alone.
Yeah.
And then that Sat became Tejas.
Yes.
Sat is the concept where there is no form, no figure, no function, nothing, no property, nirguna nirakar.
Nirguna Nirakara. Yes.
Then when it multiplied, it became Tejas.
Luster.
Yes, luster. So on the border line of nirguna nirakar and saguna sakar is very thin in Tejas.
Yes.
Then that Tejas also thought that I want to get multiplied. And that Tejas became Apa, water. So again, more gross than Tejas. So Apa is the gross or multiplied form of Tejas, luster.
Yeah. The waters.
And then waters also thought that we want to get multiplied. And then that water became Anna. So the Anna is directly related to Sat. It is from Sat there is Anna. So the gross form of Sat is Anna. And therefore, na nindyat, bahu kurvita. It is Brahman and it should not be thrown away. It should be treated with great respect and sanctity and purity, etc.
Annat bhavanti bhudani. Gita also says so. So how we are related to the Sat or the Brahman. From Brahman came Anna and we sustain on Anna. Apart from all these practical things, ma'am, we have the koshas, the Pancha koshas.
Yes.
And we know that Annamaya kosha is the starting one and we have to progress from Annamaya kosha to the Anandamaya kosha. But still, I think the Annamaya kosha is very important. Why? That doubt lingers. Because if only the Annamaya kosha is there, can we discuss and we know and we can travel from that Annamaya kosha, transcending all the koshas, can we reach Anandamaya kosha, which is nothing but Brahman. Can you just elaborate, ma'am, about the koshas?
Annamaya kosha is body.
Yes.
Once it is called kosha, it does mean that there is something inside.
Yeah.
Then comes pranamaya kosha, the vital force, the activities. Then there is manomaya kosha, the feelings. Then vijnanamaya kosha, the I, that what we understand, I, self.
Self.
And then anandamaya kosha. These are the 5 koshas and one has to transcend it. And annamaya is the first one, which is body, because it is nourished on the food. This is the importance of food. Apart from that, we will find that seers have thought about food as all-pervading entity. On one hand, we find that once the hunger is satisfied, one should not eat more, and detachment from the mundane life, etc.,
Yes.
where food forms an important activity, or food has a very important role in the mundane activity, from which it is said that one should detach. And on the other hand, we find the food has different type of importance. This is the spiritual plane. I think the seers have tried to make the student experience Brahman. Their only aim is to make the student or shishya to experience. They do not want to prove it. They do not want to give any lecture on it. They want the student to experience all pervading entity,
Yeah.
of which the person himself is an organic part, Advaita or Ekatva. And several methods are used, several imageries are used. Out of them, one is food. It is because food is all pervading entity. We find this Saptanani concept that finally everything becomes food. That which is consumed is food. It means everything is consumed
Yeah.
either by A or by B. So everything becomes food. So if one understands the concept food and everything is food, then just replace that food by Brahman. So it becomes everything is Brahman.
Yeah.
And why they selected food for that? It is because food has the capacity of pervading. We eat food and from the nail up to the hair, the entire body is pervaded by the energy we get from the food.
Yes.
That urja or that rasa we get from the food. It has the possibility to acquire the most subtle form, food. When we eat it, it is the gross form. But when it goes inside and pervades the entire body and becomes the energy, then it is the most subtle part. So even Chandogya Upanishad has this concept that we eat food and then the most subtle part of food becomes mind.
Yeah.
That is what the Chandogya Upanishad says. So the person knows something being subtle, something can pervade everything, something provides energy, the something comes out of food and then something again goes into the food, because when one dies, one merges into these 5 elements which are further food of somebody else's. So this concept of Brahman can be easily made understand through the food.
Yeah.
So this is the importance of food.
Yeah, at the level of experience, it is very easy to know Brahman when the imagery of food is used. Ma'am, the Upanishads always tells us that for knowing the Brahman, we should have the desire, mumukshata, the desire for liberation. And it also tells us the importance of renunciation, giving up. So much of emphasis is placed on renunciation, and then why so much of discussion on anna and annam vai brahma, annam bahukurveda? Why this disparity? Why there is a conflict of these two things? If we are going to give up, then why should we emphasizing on the importance of anna so much? Because in the Gita also, in the last chapter, moksha sannyasa is emphasized that you should be renouncing. But Yajnavalkya, who was the knower of Brahman, he led the life of a householder. But in the end, he also gives up this material world and goes to the forest to lead the life of a sannyasi. So what is this dichotomy? How can we solve this?
It is not dichotomy. There is no controversy. These are not conflicting statements. And there is no disparity. This should be well known. Your statement, if the world should be renounced. Now, this was your statement.
Yeah.
Yajnavalkya.
Physically, should it be renounced? How
Yes.
can we live?
What is to be renounced?
Yeah.
What is to be renounced? World.
Yeah.
World.
Yeah.
It means before renouncing, the person is living in the world, right?
Yes.
If he is living in the world, he has to get himself tuned up with the things where he is living.
Yeah.
So he is living with his all 5 senses, his body, then his relatives, then the surrounding, then Panchamahabhutas. These also are his surroundings.
Yeah.
Then before renouncing, if he is living with them, then it becomes his duty to keep all of them healthy. It is renouncing, not giving up, not throwing away. Because it has become useless, throw it away. It's not the thing, huh?
Yeah.
he should nourish them. And for nourishing, the food is essential. To nourish the body, food is essential. To nourish his family and society, etc., again, he should gain the food and distribute it. To nourish his environment, he should perform yajna, because through yajna, these Panchamahabhutas are nourished. You will be surprised to know this from the Chandogya Upanishad, which says that as a child looks after the mother or waits for his mother, when mother will come and feed me.
Yeah.
Similarly, these bhutani, 5 elements, earth, water, then fire, wind and akash, they long for the Agnihotra, that when he performs the yajna and when we will get food. So, this keeping all of them healthy is his duty. He is renouncing the world, it means he is just stopping what he is doing and then turning to something else. It is because he has done it perfectly. So it is not that Upanishad says nivrutti. Upanishad should not talk about anna. No. Before nivrutti there is pravrutti, and for pravrutti there is anna. If at all anna is that much essential, then let there be some rules. Let there be some dharma or law. Let there be some regularities. Let there be some idea that how it should be gained, and etc. etc. So this is how the Shastra of food comes here, and then it spiritualizes that food, but before that it theoretizes. That is what we find the picture in the Upanishad.
Even though food is emphasized, there is also a message that we should have a control of how much and what we are eating. Because if only we control the sense organ, the taste, then only we will be able to control the other senses, which is very important in our sadhana, in our journey for realization of the Brahman. That is why it is said, Atmanam radhinam vidhi, shariram radhamevato, buddhim tu sarathim vidhi, manapragrahamevacha. We should be controlling our senses so that, like a good charioteer, we can take the body to its journey to realize the all-pervading, the eternal entity which we call Brahman. And the Indriyas, they are like horses. It can take us anywhere. So only by controlling what we are going to eat and what we are going to drink can we ensure the purity of this body and our senses, so that we stay focused and we stay pure on the journey. In various mantras, when we read the Upanishads, we can see that the Falashruti comes, even in the Veda, that Annavan Annado Bhavati. We know what is Annavan. The person may be bestowed with lots of food. That means lots of wealth. But what is Annada? The concept of Annada is very important even in today's world. Even if we have food, being able to partake the food, being eligible for the food is very important, isn't it? So
Yes, yes. Annada means one who eats food.
Yeah.
Ada means to eat. And Shruti says the person becomes Annada also. Means simply saying food eater. What is there in food eater? See friends, one may have several types of food. One may have immense food, plenty of food, but if health doesn't permit, then he cannot be Annada.
Yeah.
He will be Annavan,
Annavan.
but he can never be Annada.
Exactly.
And Shruti wants us to be Annada.
Yeah.
The implication is, Shruti says, behave in this and this and this way, you will be Annavan, but at the same time, you will be so much healthy that you can eat and consume that all types of food. So, Annado Bhavati.
Yeah. To enjoy food, you have to be healthy. Your body and your mind should be healthy so that you can be Annada, the way the Vedic seers prayed that Annavan Annado Bhavati. There is an importance of Annadana also, ma'am.
Yes, yes.
In our society, it is considered as the most important or the most relevant donation or dana is that of Anna. Only after Anna comes Vidya even. Even though Vidya Dana is the most important of all Dhana, the Dana, when the giving comes, first is the food. then only a person will be able to understand some things. So, what is the importance of Annadana in our Upanishads?
The concept is Panchamahayajna.
Yeah.
Therefrom we find this has come. In Panchamahayajna, there is one Bhuta Yajna and there is one Manushya Yajna or Atithi Yajna. Atithi Yajna means whosoever comes. Please note that whosoever, irrespective of any other categories.
Yeah, class, gender,
Yes,
religion.
gender, religion, age, nothing matters. Whosoever comes
To your doorstep.
To your doorstep, food should be offered to him. This is Manushya Yajna. And it is one of the duties of Grihastha to offer food to hungry one. Then another is Bhuta Yajna. There are several beings around us,
Yes.
living beings, right from ants till there may be dogs and birds and cats, etc. And all of them, they are the important part in the natural chain of living beings.
Yeah.
And they should not get destroyed
Yes.
or annihilated. So this is the duty of Grihastha to feed them. This is Bhuta Yajna, to feed birds and animals and insects around us. Another point is to offer tarpana to the Pitrus. This is offering food to Pitrus. They should not remain hungry. And to offer oblations in the yajna, to perform yajna and offer oblations, it is giving food to gods. So, this is the duty of the Grihastha to offer food to gods, to Pitrus, to Manushyas and those who are around us.
The duty of the householder is
Yes,
so
householder.
big. Yeah,
Yes,
so big.
yes. So important the householder.
Yeah.
is.
Maybe because of that, Janashruti Pautrayana in Brihadaranyaka Upanishad, the king is called Bahupakya. He used to
Yes.
cook lots of food so
Yes.
that his praja, no one goes hungry. So it is used as an epithet that he was Bahupakya. And Chandogya Upanishad at many points tells us the importance of the purity of Anna. So we have to be very careful what we are eating, what we are growing, and what we are bequeathing to our next generation so that everybody becomes Annavan and Annada. To close this discussion from the Taittiriya Upanishad, Annam na nindyat tatvradam, Annam bahukurvida tatvradam. Why? Prano va annam shariram annadam. This body subsists on food, and if we don't take care of food, then our body will get destroyed. And the moment your body gets destroyed, all your faculties are going to be destroyed forever. So with the Shanti Mantra, we will come to an end of today's discussion. Om Sahana Vavatu Sahanau Bhunaktu Sahaviryam Karavavahai Tejasvinavadhitamastu Ma Vidvishavahai. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti.
Annat Bhavanti Bhutani. You were listening to the 16th episode of our all-new series on traditional Indian knowledge systems, Power of Listening. Our experts were Dr. Bhagyalata Patiskar, an educationist and Indologist and former director of Vedic Sanshothan Mandal, Pune, and Veena Raj, fellow at Bhandarkar Oriental Research Institute, Pune, and researcher at Deccan College, Pune. We hope you enjoyed it. This series has been conceptualized by Shashi Shekhar Vempati, CEO, Prasar Bharati, and produced by Nilima Patwardhan and Vinod Kumar. Special thanks to AIR Pune, Amol Parth, and Randhir Thakur for their contributions. This episode is also available on our official YouTube channel, Akashvani AIR. Be there on the 21st of January. Same time, same frequencies. Bye for now.